Okay, and now we are on to exercise 7. Let's see, exercise 7 starts with companies and employees. We're going to create some companies and some employees, ability to hire and give them raises. Cool. So employee class should have a name and a salary. Cool. The company class. The company class will have a name, a list of employees, and it will have a few methods. By the way, I'm reading this quickly because I more or less know these by heart, but that does not mean that you should read it diagonally the way that I did. It's super important to go through the instructions very carefully, otherwise you end up with mistakes just because something got misread. Right, so let's start with easy stuff. Let's start by creating the employee class. Class employee, def init, self, pass. Do they have any methods? No. Right. So let's go ahead and do the attributes. It has a name and a salary. Self name salary. Self dot name equals name. Self dot salary equals salary. A good practice to leave those spaces properly done. Right, and one thing that I do recommend that you always do is before getting much further, always test your stuff. So I'll just create a little Frank here. Employee name equals Frank, salary equals 50, 40. The reason why I do this is because if I had made some mistake, I maybe wrote salary or something, then hopefully I would catch it at this stage and wouldn't catch it 10 minutes later when I can't really remember what's what. Right, so that's our employee class. That was quite easy. Now let's think about the company class. Class company. Company def init. Self, probably more stuff. Pass. What else does it have? It has hire. Def hire. Self, pass, the space between the methods. What else? Def give a raise. Self, pass. Get mean salary and give everyone a raise. Get mean salary. Isn't it fun to watch me type? Give everyone a raise. Self, pass. Right, so here are the bones. That's what the entire thing will look like. Now we can start building in the little bits. So what's it take? It takes a name and a list of employees, which starts empty. So this is super similar to what we've seen before. Just need the name, self.name equals name, self.list of employees equals nothing. Well, empty list. By the way, this is quite important to get the types right, because if I do none or something like that, it will come back to haunt us. If I remember later, I will replace this with none to see hell break loose. Hire adds an employee to the company's list of employees. So you hire employees, so you hire an employee at the time, and what it will do is it will take our list of employees, which is here, and it will append that employee. Cool, so that looks like a reasonable hire method. Self.list, so the company.list of employees will append this employee that I've asked to hire. Cool. Giving a raise takes two arguments, employee and raise fraction. Employee, raise fraction. Good. So, what does it mean to give a raise? It takes, okay, so that's between 0 and 1. If the employee has a salary of 1,000 and the raise fraction is 0.1, 10%, then it should go up to 110. So I'll actually do this the way that I like to do it, which is to do it with lots of little steps. So I will go old salary equals something, then I will go the raise amount equals something, then I will go the new salary equals something, and only then, after I've done all of this, will I actually update the salary. So then I'll go employee.salary equals something, right? And this is generally a good idea, especially when you're learning to just be verbose, do lots of intermediate steps, so that you can also print stuff and see where things are going right or where they're going wrong. So what is the old salary? The old salary is employee.salary. You know that employees have salaries. We've got an employee.salary gets us the old salary. Cool. What's the raise amount? Well, the raise amount is the old salary times the raise fraction, right? If it's a 10% raise on a salary of 100, then we want it to be 10% of 100, so 10. So the raise amount should be something like 10. The new salary will be the old salary plus the raised amount, which is no longer a fraction. So it's not raise fraction, it's raise amount. Cool. And then the employee.salary is new salary. And yes, this definitely could be done in one step and it could be done much faster, but it's just a good practice for when we're learning. So what I will actually do now is I will get a bit of practice of this. So I'll say print the old salary before. I'll be lazy and just use commas. You can do this. You can also be smarter than that and say, well, I'll pass it over as a zero format. Something you'll probably see with different people's codes is that they'll take different approaches to stuff. Me, I tend to be lazy and I apologize for that. All right, so here we have the raise amount. We'll pass the raise amount. We're next to new salary, so we'll also print the new salary. New salary. Format the new salary. And then this is going to be the same as the new salary, so no point in printing it. Actually, let's go overkill. Let's say that we were having some problems. We might need to do some incredibly specific stuff like this. Salary at the end. Format employee salary. Okay, let's see if I've messed it up. There's Frank. There is test company equals company called test co. Test company dot hire Frank. So let's see if that worked. If this hire method worked. So it will take a Frank. It will add Frank to the list of employees. Okay, so far so good. Does the test company have Frank in its list of employees? Well, it has something that looks like a Frank. Let's look and see, does it have a name? Hooray, there's our Frank. All right, now let's see what Frank's salary is. Frank.salary is that, so it's 40. Let's give him a 10% raise, which we hope will put him at 10%. Test company dot give a raise to Frank. No, to Frank. We won't use this in the end. We'll use the give everyone a raise, so we won't need to specifically mention which employee. But for now, we're just testing this particular function. So let's give Frank a raise of 10%, which is 0.1. And let's take a look. Before was 40, raise amount was 4, new salary is 44, the salary at the end is 44, and Frank.salary, want to be super paranoid, 44. Brilliant. Good Frank. There's a nice little Frank. Right, let's get rid of all this. We know that that method seems correct. Also get rid of some of these prints, because now I know that this stuff, at least this function seems to work fine. And let's get to get mean salary. So get mean salary should be a pretty straightforward thing, right? We want to go over the list of employees, we want to add up all of their salaries, and we want to divide by the number of employees. Great. However, I'm going to again go and be super specific and write lots of text. Total salary is 0. I'm going to initiate it that way, and then I'm going to loop over the employees and add and then learn how to write, no, sorry, and add their salary for employee in self.list of employees, the usual self.list of employees. We are going to say total salary plus equals the salary. You'll probably remember this from what you need to define what salary is. Salary is the employee salary, and we'll add this salary. Of course, we could have done this in one line. I'm being exaggerated in the number of things that I do. So this will get us the total salary up to here, but then that's not the mean salary, right? That's the total salary. The mean salary is the total salary divided by the number of employees. The number of employees is the len of self.list of employees. This means of this list, how many items are in there. Now, of course, you could go and sum each of the, every time you go through here, you could have started number of employees as 0. You could have summed 1 every time that it went through here. I'm going to use len. I'm going to be a bit lazy. I'm also aware that this means that for a company that doesn't have any employees, this will divide by 0 and it would be an issue, right? So the mean salary equals total salary divided by number of employees. It would be problematic if there aren't any employees. It's a division by 0, but, well, we're just doing this for exemplification, so we're not going to do all of those checks. And now, what do we want? We want to get it. So let's see, calculates and returns it. Return mean salary. This is one important thing, which is it's generally a good idea to write methods that return with a name that suggests that, such as get, so that it's then obvious that, I'm going to get it back. We could have had some attributes of the class itself, which was mean salary, and then we would just update it with mean salary, self.mean salary equals mean salary, but that's not what we're doing. We're actually returning it. Cool. So let's go and give it a try. Frank already exists, test company already exists, test company, hire Frank again, sorry about that, Frank, and now test company dot get mean salary. Cool. What happens if we, after we hire Frank, we give him a raise, test company dot give a raise to Frank, have 20% Frank, you've been so good. Right, mean salary went up. What if there were a couple of Franks? Let's go with a Frank and a Frankette. Right, so Frankette makes 50. And now we're going to hire Frank and Frankette. Cool. We're going to give a raise to Frank. We're going to give a raise to Frankette. Frankette's going to get I might as well make so same one. And does it work with multiple employees? Yeah, cool. So this seems all right, at least so far. We'll see in the end if we pass the assets.